what Jesus came to give.
Now here where?
Right
Oh,
now.
I cannot
go
turn
here.
left.
My body hurts. My house is falling apart. My marriage struggles.
And then here.
My kids, I worry about them.
And where?
My
Left?
job is
Oh, no.
insanely stressful.
Here.
Emotionally, I'm a
Where?
bit
Straight
unstable. Psychologically, I'm a
And
bit
turn
off
left,
balance. My family
Oh,
has
yeah.
problems. The Christmas season compounds my struggles and my pains because it amplifies the sorrow of those trials. But Jesus said, I have come that they may have life and have it abundantly. How does that work? Well, if we're going to understand what Jesus means, then we have to interpret his statement not by the definitions or assumptions of our culture, but by the context of the Bible as a whole. We have to understand what he means based on the theology of the scriptures. Think about another Good Shepherd text for a moment.
I have to
as you
turn on. Yeah, I
consider
did.
the abundant life.
Turn on them.
If I were to ask you what is the most familiar shepherd text in the Old Testament, where would your mind go? Psalm 23. There's so many applications we could make from Psalm 23 about what an abundant life looks like, but just think about it for a moment. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. Psalm 23, abundant life, is life that knows the Lord, that trusts in his providence and his care, who finds their soul refreshed in God, satisfied in God. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. His laws govern my life. His ethical norms are my ethical norms. I do not walk in the counsel of the wicked, nor stand in the way of sinners, nor sit in the seat of scoffers, but my delight is in the law of God, walking in the paths of righteousness. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. So in pain, in the presence of death, surrounded by evil, my confidence is in God who is with me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. God is with me in danger. I share table fellowship with God while enemies abound. Now listen to this. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. The abundant life, we could say, is communion with God. It is fellowship with God. It is to be loved by the shepherd no matter what you're experiencing right now. And it is access to the presence of God. The abundant life is to dwell in the house of the Lord forever. In the presence of the glorious God. And the Good Shepherd is leading his people into his house forever. Now keep that in mind as we turn now back to John chapter 10. I only have two headings to guide this sermon. A better temple, and second, a better shepherd. It feels wrong not to have 3 points in a sermon. I really struggled with that this week, but we're going to try 2. A better temple and a better shepherd. First, a better temple. In verses 1 through 6, Jesus lays out the purpose of his ministry with a figure of speech. That is what verse 6 tells us, that he spoke in a figure of speech and they did not understand. Now, this figure of speech is similar to what the synoptic gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, referred to as parables. But Jesus spoke in parables, that hearing they may not hear, and seeing they may not see. In other words, it was a message in part of judgment on those who were blind.